T-Man 978 Chill Review.
Hello everyone, T-Man 978. Welcome to another chill comparison review. I need to do more of these because they actually do well on my channel. The last one got tons of views. But anywho, hopefully that keeps happening. But anyway, that's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing it because I wanted to, since there's only one other version of this version of Sideways. So why not review both of them, since I don't believe I ever reviewed that guy. But anyway, this is Transformer Cybertron Sideways, hailing from Planet X, I believe. And this is Transformers Age of the Prime Sideways. They used to say things like from the Cybertron universe, but now they just don't do that. I guess they're all in the same world. Oh, no. I guess they don't care no more. They actually put Transformer Cybertron right there. So, yeah. I don't know how the storyline is working now. First they were coming through a portal and whatnot, but here we are. The original came in vehicle mode and the new one comes in robot mode, but I'm going to start with vehicle mode because that's a little bit more easy. But anywho, the main difference between these guys is the old one is bigger in vehicle mode. It's like only slightly, and it has way more paint apps and transparent parts. You could transform it without parts forming, and it actually has like functional gimmicks and whatnot. And it has wheels. So it has a lot of cool things going for it as far as being an actual toy. Like it has landing gear right here that actually roll. Now it's not going to roll on this surface, but you get the point. It does actually work depending on your surface. But here is a close-up on this. It looks like a bat almost mixed with some type of stealth jet alien type thing. It definitely doesn't look like something that came from Earth. It's almost organic, but here is what it looks like from the bottom. Again, features this thing has is you can put a Cyber Planet key in here and actually switch out which side he's on, because he works for either side. But if you lift this up, which is still connected, you can put this in there and make his weapons shoot out. Come on, there we go. You can do that, and maybe I forget how it worked on the cartoon. It probably did some type of blast, but basically there's that. This isn't the planet key he came with. His planet key looks something like this, but bigger. Now here is the Age of the Prime's planet key. They actually painted it two different colors, and I'm guessing as a result they had to take some of the paint apps off of here. Like I said, mostly the green paint apps. I'm pretty sure Takara might release a version that's more like this. But you have the Autobot thing. Even though this doesn't actually like have actual mechanized gimmicks, it does have gimmicks. And here's the bottom of this. Let's let you look at both of them. There is no landing gear. But this, instead of the mechanized gimmick, you can just pull this completely off. And there's a switch right here. It turns it to Decepticon right there. So that is cool. They went out of their way. I think this is my favorite deluxe class. Like, period, this year. This is like the best deluxe class to me. They have that right there, which plugs into here. These two should plug into there, but it doesn't plug into there very well. It mostly plugs into that back from what I'm noticing. But here they are. These just peg in because, like I said, parts forming. And they did do certain things to make it come together a little bit better. But it's not like this is actually falling apart or anything. So there's that. guess one thing I should have shown right now is him actually utilizing this. It doesn't do anything, but you can port that in there. But here it is next to you, Transformer Cybertron Thundercracker. Look at this. Look at this landing gear. We don't get nothing like that now. But this is how big he is. He's a deluxe class as well. Like, I thought this was going to be a Voyager class when I saw it, because of how many corners they didn't cut. Here is a Voyager class who doesn't like bright lights. There we are. There we are. I don't know, I guess this is heavier. But yeah. Alright, here's something I was debating on whether I was going to do. Transformation. I'm going to take this out of here. It pegs in with a 5mm peg, but as you can see, there's a whole thing right here designed to hold the wing on there so you won't have to make it a parts forming part. So that's cool. And we can move this away from here, move this away from there, and we can go ahead and, oh man, here's one of the annoying things about this particular figure. Ball joints. We can actually close these two together, rotate this around this way, and the joints, the thigh joints are so tight it makes the frickin' ball joint want to come off of there, so that's aggravating. So now we can get this flat and rotate this orange part right here, like rotate it down here, get that flat. We can bring the foot forward and bring the heel out. So there we are with that part. Now we can lift this up and keep lifting it beyond. We can bring this arm out, bring that down. The elbow is this way, we can rotate the hand that way. For this, we need to actually lift this up. Now we can do the same thing. Bring this down, rotate the arm this way. But now we gotta rotate this, rotate the hand, and rotate this forward right here. And now we can bring this back, bring this back, bring this down, lift this up, take the head up out of here, rotate it, and bring this panel back there. Shut that. And now we have Sideways in his robot mode, this version of Sideways. The Transformer Cybertron Sideways. This one, I'm going to go ahead and take this off. I'm going to take that off. Take that off. And take this off. And now we can do similar things. We can detach this. This actually pegs in right there. And it actually pegs in right here. So I'm going to bring that down. Bring the foot off. Bring this forward. Bring this down. Rotate the leg. Bring this down. Rotate the leg. The feet can do this. The heel will... No, that heel stayed, but this one didn't. Get that heel out. Now, just to make them uniform, I'm going to attach the wings right here. Attach the wings right there. And now we're going to lift this up. Actually, I'm going to bring that back. Lift this up. And we can push the arms through like this. Get the arm down. Rotate it so that the pegs are on the outside, peg holes are on the outside, and rotate the hands forward. Rotate it like this. Get the hand forward. Now I'm going to rotate this down rotate that back up. These can come down. Then we do the same thing. Lift this up, bring the head out, shift it back, shut this, and to finish off the look, you can take this guy, pull this peg out, and boom. Like I was saying in my previous video, they have embraced parts forming now, instead of like just trying to make everything transform together. That was a thing back with Robots in Disguise, or Transformers Car Robots in the year 2000. But now they've just been doing whatever they can to make the figures the best version of them they can make. And beside each other, now in this mode, he's bigger, as I will let you see right here. Now they both have their pros and cons. Like I think it's cool that this is an all-inclusive transformation, but this guy has better articulation and it's better designed in a lot of ways. As you may or may not have noticed, this guy has light piping. I always wonder, is the orange part his face? Or are those things on the forehead, are those his eyes? They didn't blink. Well, I'm guessing that's his face, like Soundwave from Transformers Prime. And you may have noticed besides that, he has transparent parts for the windshield. In fact, this whole chest piece, I believe, is transparent plastic. I could be lying there. Yeah, no, it's overlaid, so they spent some money on this. Right here. This cape part is one solid part. It's not two pieces that bend down separately. He doesn't have a whole bunch of waffling, but he does have hollow parts right here in the back of his leg. But as far as anything else, he is mostly filled in. You do see the mushroom pegs in the hand, which is something you constantly see now that people complain about. I noticed that he doesn't have pins in the shoulders right here. They are like clip-in. I've never pulled them off, but he does have like 2 screws right here in the forearm. You see this paint right here on the thighs and the extra paint on the knees. But yeah, this guy has a bigger head than this one. But here's his head. He has a painted visor because there are no transparent parts, but they've almost faithfully 100% reproduced this, but made it better articulated and more up to snuff with current standards. Like you have this that moves separately. One thing that I don't like about that, or is unfortunate about that, is you see all this. This looks like he has like a cape. They went out of their way to fill that in. So that's cool. He still has the hollowness down there, and he does have hollowness inside of the thighs, which are not painted, and they made the hollowness go towards the front of the detail on this thing. So that's unfortunate. And yeah, there's one pin instead of screws. You see the mushroom peg. Let's see. No, this is solidly covered in. But he has pins inside of the shoulders. The mushroom peg's on the back of his arm, as far as the hands. He doesn't have ball joints, so you don't have to worry about his legs falling off. And let's get into, well, we got this going on right here. Let's get into the articulation. The head. Both of these have a similar thing they can do. The head just rotates. It's not on the ball joint at all. But you can use this panel to make it look down. And you can kind of pull this up to make it look up a bit. So you got that going on. Now let's see. Wait, the arm does this. It does this because of transformation. And it rotates. You have bicep swivel, the elbow bends 90 degrees, and the wrists rotate. The hips go forward, back, out to the side, thigh swivel. The knees bend well more than 90 degrees because of the transformation. The foot comes forward. The foot goes back. The heel doesn't go back with it. And that's that on him. There's no waist rotation. But this was one of my favorite toys back in the day. I just wish they had things like the real ability to look up and a waist rotation and ankle pivot and all that. The feet are so big, you didn't really have a problem getting them to stand, but it would have been nice if it had all those things. But you get the head rotation. The head is on a ball joint, so you can get a little bit of wiggle. You can do the same thing with this, where you can make him look down. It looks a little less awkward. And you can make him look up with that a little bit. You get this. You get this. The shoulders do drop down a little bit like the original bicep swivel. Elbows bend 90 degrees. Wrists rotate. But this time you get a waist. The legs go out to there. They can kick forward all the way up. This one I didn't show that. He can go all the way up as well. Thigh rotation. The knee bends way more than 90 degrees because of the transformation. The feet come up. They go back a little bit and you get ankle pivot. And if you want to get extra special, you can do this and give him an ab crunch. But he's like halfway untransformed. Well, let's see. And give him an ab crunch. And then make him look up using that joint. But their gimmicks and accessories, you still have access to this thing right here. So we can do this, make that shoot out, change him into a Decepticon, and we can take these off, which looks like this now. And he can either have two swords, or you can give him a double-bladed weapon. That's what I used to do. Give him this double-bladed weapon. Or like I said, you can give him two swords. So, besides having some limited articulation, like I was showing, the main thing that killed this is just those hips. The hips, one of those legs is very tight and wants to pop off. Now this one, we could put this in here, like I was showing, and we could change him into a Decepticon, which he pretty much was. Well, one of the things I think is cool, because they could have cheaped out, they gave him all four of these blades. I would think they would cheap out and just make it two blades, I mean. But they actually went and did the four, so that's cool. And these come off the same way. But since this isn't attached to this arm, you could put it on this side if you want it. So that's cool. And you can put it on his leg. But it's awesome that this one has better articulation and the articulation cheating. So now he has two blade weapons and he's very cool. And I really, really like it. This is the upgrade that I have been wanting. I just wanted that figure basically with better articulation, and they definitely delivered. And they even gave it the same gimmicks, which is crazy. To show this off, since we have options now, we can have the blades on his forearms if you want. And I've stored this on his leg, but it's a little bit long. So if you're not using the ankle pivot, it's gonna definitely be scraping on the ground. Here they are next to Cybertron Thundercracker, and as you can see here, there was, even back then, a lot of difference. This thing is way more substantial than Thundercracker. Thundercracker was scaring the crap out of me just now, transforming him into a robot. And here is something that's not a deluxe. He's supposed to be like a Commander class Voyager, or Voyager and a Commander class, but you can see what we're working with here. Something that's basically deluxe class size. They're basically eye to eye, but this one is definitely heftier and heavier than either one. It's close to that. But yeah, I've always liked this. This has been one of my favorite things. I like the gimmicks and I like the way it looks in the paint job and whatnot. I like the paint and the deco that they did give this one. They did sacrifice some of it, as you've seen throughout this video. And look at that, there is waffles on that. Waffles on both of them. But I definitely like the less wobbliness of this one, and the fact that it can do all the posability that I would like. So I definitely can recommend it. Now at this point in the video, I'm gonna torture myself. I said what I said about it. I like both of them. I ultimately like this one more. He can be retired back in his tube. But I'm gonna do the reverse transformations. Alright, transformation again. I'm gonna close this back up without the planet key in there. Gonna open this. Take the head, rotate it, and accordion things into there and shut that. With that out the way, we can actually lift this out of the way, and that stays solidly. These can come out the hands and go, using this peg right here, back into the leg. And you know what's something I didn't try? Let's actually make sure these are 5mm pegs on the old one. I can't put that in this hand. Yeah, they are 5mm pegs, so they started way back then. But I'm gonna put this one on this leg. And we're gonna like lift all of this, or separate this actually. Oh Lord, Jesus Christ, that's gonna be happening. Separate that, and now we can lift this up off of here and kind of down like that. Now I'm going to elongate this, rotate it, flip things around like this, and basically get this through there, right there. You can rotate the hand this way, but I'm getting the screws on the outside, I believe. Lift this up, screws on the outside, rotate this around. They can come together, but there is no like pegging end point. You just get the arms into this orientation, and we can shift this forward and down like that. Now we can shut this, split the crotch on this, and these legs need to rotate around. Shut this heel up into there, and basically bring this back, and this peg kind of goes in between that space right here. So we get that into place. Nothing is like locking the legs to the back of this. We need to rotate this out, get this going, and then make that meet up with this. Rotate. Oh jeez. Rotate the leg around, hopefully not popping it off that ball joint. It's mainly this hip for me. You can shut that, rotate this back, get this in between that space, rotate this out, get this going, and lift this up to match that. And yay, you are good to go with this one. This one, I'm going to take this key out, shove this, take this off, and plop this peg back. You don't have to take the key out, but I took one wing off. Both wings are off now. We can shut the heel and foot like this, shut the heel and foot like that. But I'm going to do the same thing up here that I did on the other one. Open this chest up, lift this up. You can rotate the head at this point, bring this down, shut this on top of that. You can get these out of the way for now. Go ahead and lift this up, and I'm gonna bring this down so we can get like good clearance. But basically these arms need to rotate inward like this. I'm gonna rotate that in because we want these pegs to be on the top, and I'm gonna rotate the hand to be facing that way. See, the hands, I always forget which way to rotate it, but it's easy to figure out that this needs to be like this because this goes in basically 180 and then they plug together, but the hand needs to be into this orientation. And we could do the same thing with this. Shove that down, rotate the legs around, but this time there is an actual peg in there that pegs onto this, and this right here clips up inside of this area. So you need to actually bend on this hinge to make that meet up. Then we can make this meet up over here. Rotate this forward more so we can make this meet up. Make it meet up back here. And now we can take this, and like I said, this pegs into there more than these peg into this. So line that up mostly, and that makes it lift up higher, which is actually on the box art. I was thinking I was doing something wrong, but it's on the box art. So we need the deco on this side, and we need the point forward. Plug it in two places right here. And boom, you're good to go. They are back into vehicle modes. Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. These have pretty simple transformations, so I didn't murder myself too much. Anywho, got this. A friend Junkie on Crafts and Builds found this at Walmart, but I believe it's on Amazon. So if it's on Amazon, I'm gonna have a link to that in the description, and I'll have whatever other pop-up links on YouTube down there, so pay attention. Anywho, thank you for watching this. Until next time, T-Man978 out of here.
Figure action.
Join the Syndicate Toy Hunters Facebook group, link in the description. Click the videos, click the videos, baby, click the videos. You should really click these videos, click the videos.